This is the final episode of The Digital Key and How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix, the podcast. I am writing to summarize the conclusions that can be drawn from these episodes about the nature of those controlling the simulation and their powers as revealed by the structures in place to control us. I would like to start off by saying that ultimately this reality is governed by narrative. By controlling the narrative, they implement their ideology on the system as a whole. Narrative determines history. They control the narrative with controlled opposition and control over digital content. They maintain this reality as a sandbox for the creation of new ideas which they then assume for their own use outside of it. They maintain this reality to outsource experiences they do not wish to have and assume experiences and ideas they do wish to have. They can alter digital content directly through the internet by controlling all data from outside of it. They can also alter digital content by intervening within non-linearity, that is, outside our timeline, to prune paths from the simulation that they don't want. They can also hide their intervention by erasing it from the path of intervention before it enters the past. In other words, they have control where the present enters the past. They can manipulate the timeline before the present becomes the past but after it has already happened. The stacking of perceptual experiences amongst lateral alters ensures that they can outsource experiences they don't want to lateral alters. You may think you are sitting at home on a cloudy day when in fact you are serving a sentence for someone privileged by the system. By controlling the transition of the present into the past, they control the direction of history. They do this by centralizing sublimation at the top, which means only those privileged in the simulation can produce infinite recursion and shape consensus. The tautological and hierarchical flow of consciousness from vessel to vessel means that any vessel with consciousness can become untethered to its vessel and move into other vessels. This is how aliens participate in our reality. They are able to move into human vessels as easily as we are able to move into each other's. By controlling the movement of the present into the past, by effectively editing the past, they can control the outcome of sociality, goal-directed actions and outcomes. They shape both the whole of human history through narrative and micromanage individual lives by pruning the timeline and digital content. Those privileged by the simulation include humans elevated hierarchically. They appropriate ideas and experiences according to their preference and act as controlled opposition to continually direct the narrative and consensus. That's the end of the podcast for today.